welcome back to our channel. It's Shelly
and Tom.
And today on Cruise Wise Wednesdays, the topic is 10 things not to do on a cruise shore excursion. And I think we're gonna relate them back to our last cruise. Stay tuned for the videos. We haven't put those together yet. We haven't put them together yet. So, but we just did the Ecstasy, and it was an 8-day to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic,
St. Thomas.
and St. Thomas. And I think all of these kind of relate to what these, these, are. But we're gonna list them off, and if you do them, let us know. If you don't do them, let us know. If it's something new to you, let us know. So here we go.
Dressing inappropriately. Now, make sure when you on your excursion, you know what to wear. Whether you need to bring swimsuit, shorts, closed-toed shoes, depending on what the excursion is calling for. Make sure you plan ahead. A lot of times when you purchase your excursion, if you read some of the comments or if you read the details of the excursion itself, it'll tell you towards the bottom recommended things to bring, like a towel, some sunscreen, etc. So make sure you pay attention and bring the appropriate stuff. So you don't want to be at, get ready to zip line or get ready to do your excursion and you don't have the right shorts, or you came in flip-flops and you don't have closed-toed shoes. They're going to have stuff provided for you.
Sometimes.
And if they do, they're going to charge you. So be ready. But just to avoid all that, make sure you pack accordingly.
Yeah, because we usually if we do zip lining, we sometimes try to pick two activities like zip lining and beach. And I always wear like my swimsuit underneath a cover up, but then I started carrying shorts with me because every time we go zip lining, they'll say, well, do you have shorts with you? Or, they try to rent the shorts out to you. So I started carrying shorts in a backpack so they know, okay, yeah, I have shorts that I can switch out. And then also, I started wearing tennis shoes or bring tennis shoes, because I'll have the beach shoes and sometimes they won't let you wear the beach shoes while ziplining. So beware of that, because I think there was a lady when we were in Dominican, she had a cover up over top of her bathing suit, but that's it. She didn't have long enough shorts and she had to rent some shorts. And then another one, she had flip-flops on, so she had to rent shorts and some tennis shoes from them. So just dress appropriately.
Yeah. Number 2, next, forgetting the essentials. This kind of goes in hand with number 1, but with number 2, if you're doing things like a beach day, and you're forgetting, make sure you don't want to forget the sunscreen or the aloe, things like that. If you plan on taking pictures, your camera, the simple things. If you want to take your camera in the water, some of the, the gadgets that'll let you take the camera, in the water, and, a towel. Make sure you bring, it's the basics.
Yeah, make sure you read the description, like Thomas said, on your excursion if you go on one, because sometimes it'll say bring a towel and people don't have towels with them, or they'll have towels provided and they'll bring their towels and then they're stuck carrying around like 2 towels.
Next one.
Bring your passport. That's a yes and a no. If you are going on an excursion that's ship regulated, no, you usually don't have to have your passport unless you're trying to get it stamped like in the country that you're in, because the ship's usually not going to leave you, and if you get sick or something happens, the ship will go back on the crew will go back on the ship and get your stuff for you and bring it to you. So you really don't have to have it. Now, if you go on an excursion that's not ship regulated, then yes, take your passport, because if you get left behind, and I'm pretty sure everybody's seen those videos of people being left behind because they're not watching the ship's time.
Peer runners.
Yeah, if you're not watching the ship's time and you get left and you're in a country that's not a U.S. territory, yeah, you're going to need your passport to get back. Or if you get sick, yes, you'll need your passport. So other than that, it's depending on what type of cruise that you have. Now, if it's if it's Nassau or Freeport and you do an excursion or someplace where they drop you off like on another side of town where you have to walk through the market, yeah, I would take your passport if you plan on doing shopping or not going straight back to the ship. Because in Nassau, they always drop you off. They pick you up in one area, but drop you off on another side. And if you get stuck there, yeah, you need your passport. So,
Yeah.
that's a yes, no, type thing.
Next one, carrying wads of cash. Now, just because you're planning on going downtown, or even if you're going on an excursion, you have to have this big wad of cash, like $200, $300, $400. That's a big no, because
You don't want to get jacked.
yeah, you don't want to get jacked for your cash. 50, maybe $100, and then a credit card. That's pretty much all you need, unless you're trying to get some jewelry or do some big time shopping. You can get some pretty.
Oh, go ahead.
You can get some pretty decent souvenirs. They're relatively cheap for like $50, $100. You can come back with a big.
Yeah, I'm not paying cash for no jewelry down there either.
Oh, well, yeah.
I need my credit card to protect me for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't take a lot of cash.
Yeah. Next one, being clueless about the port. That's a big no-no. Even for your seasoned cruisers, as well as your first-time cruisers, pay attention to the ports that you're going to and read up on them a little bit. Read the comments, read what other people have to say, read their experiences, because you're going to learn a lot. When you pick in your excursions, like I said earlier, make sure you read the description, what's all entailed in the excursion, what's going on. Is it providing food? Do you need to bring extra cash for such and such? What kind of equipment do you need to bring? So that's, and then just have some basic general knowledge about, like if you're going to Roatan or you're going to Cozumel, just read up a little bit on the surrounding area. Just get a feel for what you may expect.
Yeah, and the example that we had for this was when we went to St. Thomas. This past cruise, we got there late. Our excursion that was a carnival excursion was canceled, and the only thing they did is we got up to the pier where they told us to meet, and they said, I'm sorry to tell you, but your excursion was canceled. And it was a lot of people standing around not knowing what to do. Some of them, they went to like Megan's Bay, which, if you read up on it, it's overcrowded. And we had, how many ships in? There was like 3 or 4 ships.
I think there was 4 in that day.
Yeah, and it had one of those big, whatever ships, the big...
Norwegian?
No, not a Norwegian. Royal Caribbean ships was in port. So, it was packed. Well, my aunt happened to live down there in St. Thomas, and we didn't trust the cab driver too much, so I'm texting her, trying to get her to ask her, is this okay? Where should he take us? And she told us this place was okay that he was trying to take us to. And then he knew all about the ship's time and stuff, and he came and picked us up. But just if you don't know anybody where you're going, just read up and look. And that's another thing. There was this other couple, they, I think it was their first time there. Their excursion was canceled as well, and they were in the van when we got in the van. But the couple with the 2 babies.
Oh yeah.
So they, they were like, well, they were kind of iffy if they should go or not. But once we got on, it was like they felt a little bit better because it was more people from our ship that was going where they were trying to go. But yeah, so read up, be a little bit aware just in case something happens, and you're not stuck like paying $60
Yeah.
to and from to get to an overcrowded beach.
Or you're wasting your day just walking around trying to find something to do.
Right. Next is ignore the safety talk, and that's a must. So if they tell you, you know, you need to do this A, B, and C, then they're letting you know do A, B, and C. You know, when we did the segways, we had like a safety talk. We had, you know, we were riding around on the segways, and I mean, yeah, we had some spills and stuff, but yeah, that, I mean, the safety talk, they tell you don't climb on some rocks, don't climb on the rocks, you know, because, you know, that's gonna mess up your whole rest of your vacation, especially if it's on what excursion or port day one, and you know you done fell, and then you know you still got 5 days to go. So just listen up, be safe, and you don't want to have a terrible cruise. Next, show up late. Now, show up late can either be you're either trying to show up late to get to the excursion, because if they tell you, sometimes they have you meet inside of the auditorium, and then sometimes they have you meet out on pier. Sometimes they don't tell you until you get down the pier, and then they say, oh no, you gotta go back and meet up somewhere. Remember that?
Yeah.
Fascination. There's ships do different things, and you don't want to be the holdup. And well, Carnival, they usually don't wait. They tell you to be someplace, and if you're not there, then you know they do a head count, and then they start moving. And then when you're on your way back, it's the same thing. Don't be late, because you know everybody's gonna be looking at you like you know you're holding everybody up. And if you read reviews, you'll see these comments. Oh, there was this couple that was holding everybody up, and you know, and you'll see that people make comments, especially in these Facebook groups. Oh, there was this couple that, you know, so you don't want to be that couple or that group that was always holding everybody up, because then that's going to make your cruise, you know,
a little bit more uncomfortable for the rest of the time.
Yeah, because you're going to be looking at like you have a
there
slow
they are.
family or something like that.
Next one is pushing yourself over the limit. Now, some of the excursions may be a little, you know, demanding physically, you know, like zip lining, ATV riding, the segways. So you want to give yourself, I guess, give yourself a little bit of time to either adjust or get a feel for whether this is something that you're going to enjoy doing without spending yourself. So, and if you feel like, you know, that you're not going to be able to complete the zip lining or the obstacle course, you know, let the tour guide know, because you don't want to push yourself and make things worse and end up having, you know, spending the rest of your cruise either on rest or whatever because you dehydrated yourself, or you even hurt yourself. So just don't overexert it. Have fun.
Yeah, when we went ziplining in Dominican, there was 2 types of zip lining. You could zip line straight through and go over the ocean, or you do zip line and then you have the beach, or you can zip line and do this obstacle course, and then you zip line. I think they zip lined over the ocean, and then they had the beach. Well, when they were walking us in a group. When we got to the obstacle course, you know, I know we had to climb up all these steps to get up to the zip line, and I was not trying to do that obstacle course. And you know, more power to them. You know, a lot of those people did it, but I could hear, you know, guys yelling, telling the girls, you know, just put one hand over it. No, I wasn't gonna try to do that. I think that was too much. So yeah, and I think I probably would have fell out if I would have tried to do that. But yeah, know your limits, and just, you know, there are always people they'll sit you aside, or they have, you know, you're scared to do something. I'm like Kelly, you know, but
yeah.
If you're scared to do something or you can't do something, you know, you don't want to ruin the rest of your cruise by just pushing yourself.
Next one is losing track of time. This one's kind of simple. Always stay on ship time. unless they unless they tell you otherwise, always stay on ship time. So whatever time you get off and whatever time you need to be back on, just pay attention to that. If you plan on doing shopping towards the end of your excursion, kind of give yourself a little bit of leeway, you know, so that you get back comfortably without having to be rushed. And, you know, like with Carnival, if you go on a Carnival excursion and they're running late, that's not on you. They will get you back to the ship. They're not going to leave you because, of course, that's with Carnival. If you choose to do an excursion that's not through Carnival, then you need to pay a little bit extra special attention to the ship's time, when you need to be back, and so forth. Let the tour guide know, hey, I need to be back at such and such, or I would like to be back, you know, if you want to give yourself that little bit of cushion to do some shopping. So, but either way, stay on ship time, and to me, I don't think go wrong.
Yeah, and if you have if you have a tender or a shuttle, a water shuttle, I don't know what they want to call them, taxi. If you use one of those, just be prepared that, you know, either get there, because like in Belize, there's always long lines trying to get back on those tenders, and if you're like in the last couple of groups, they're gonna sardine y'all on those ships. I mean, on those little shuttles, taxis,
Yeah.
whatever they want to call them, the tenders. So they're gonna get y'all on there. You're gonna get back, you know, but you're just gonna get back uncomfortably, or you'll, you know, get back.
Get back.
So yeah, just watch the ship time. And the last one is skipping the fine print. When you book your excursion, make sure you just read thoroughly, even if you know, you think you've known it or you've done it before. Just make sure you read, and depending on what you do, you know, you always sign in those waivers. Don't just skim over it, because sometimes those waivers, they can say, well, you know, if you fall, it's not going to be our fault. You know, you said you were coming, and we're not going to be responsible. Hope you got insurance. You know, not in those words, but, you know, that's how it is. So make sure you just read the fine print. If you know, like if it says it's an 8-hour excursion, we stop once for lunch, you make sure you bring money and don't expect them to feed you. If it says we give snacks, that's what it is. They're gonna give you snacks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be maybe some fruit, some Kool-Aid, or juice or whatever. That's it. So make sure you bring something, or, you know, just pack something light for you that's gonna get you, you know, through what you need to get through. And
I think that's it.
yeah, I think that's about it.
So bottom line, enjoy your cruise, enjoy your excursions, make sure you read through them before you pick them. And, you know, if you have any questions, like I said, you can either read the comments, you can read other people's posts on Facebook or other social media, or if you're purchasing excursions on the ship, ask the services counter at the shore excursion desk. They know all of the information that you need to know. So just, you know, don't pick it because, oh, I need something to do. Pick something based on, are we going to enjoy it?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and if you don't do social media like Facebook and all that stuff where you can ask people, go do the meet and greet. Maybe somebody will know there. Because, you know, pretty sure they always have meet and greets. And then on Cruise Critic, they always have like the meet and mingles, or they'll have the roll calls where you can ask questions there too. So don't just think that, okay, well, I've ziplined before, it's all the same, because they are.
It's different.
Yeah. So
That's it.
That's about it for Cruise Wise Wednesdays. So till then, happy sailing and see you when we see y'all.